This is an attempt at an appreciation of Pixar, a little bow to Toy Story, which I mentioned before, and Ratatouille and Wall-E. The Pixar studio has huge fingerprints all over it, from Walt Disney to George Lucas to Steve Jobs, but they were all ancillary roles in the story, which preeminently belongs to a man named John Lasseter. He got a job with Disney Animation where he encountered the by then legendary 9 old men. That's what Walt Disney called them, the core of his workshop, 9 of the best animators who had produced his classic movies, and devised a list of 12 essential ingredients that were the foundation, they believed, for all good animation. That list I will provide without explanation or elaboration. 1. Squash and stretch. 2. Anticipation. 3. Staging. 4. Straight-ahead action and pose to pose. 5. Follow-through and overlapping action. 6. Slow in and slow out. 7. Arcs. 8. Secondary action. 9. Timing. 10. Exaggeration. 11. Sound drawing. 12. Appeal. That's it. That's the 9 old men's bag of tricks. John Lasseter studied under these masters, but he also had his own ideas, and, more important, new tools at his command, and, as a result, he was fired from the Disney Corporation for the sin of promoting computer animation. This had to be something to smile about after corporate transactions that made him the president of everything that had anything to do with animation at Disney. But that's jumping ahead. He got another position with George Lucas Films, where he was well received and much work was done using computers, so much so that in 1986, Pixar became an independent company, supported by the financial investment of Steve Jobs. The idea was to produce useful hardware and software for the government and the medical industry. That was the path to profit. But the company lost money and Jobs continued to invest until he had $50 million sunk into Pixar and was looking to sell. John Lasseter wasn't interested in any of that. He was, at heart, an animator and a storyteller, and he was working day and night on a small project, a 2-minute animated film he called Luxor Jr. It starred 2 desk lamps and a rubber ball. Lasseter was convinced that if he could make this little film, it would clearly reveal to any observer the future of animation, namely CGI, or computer-generated imaging. It would be his Steamboat Willie. And he was right. Based on the success of this short, Lasseter was given the green light for Toy Story. Luxor Jr. is well worth a look. It contains all the essential wisdom of the 9 old men, as well as the beautifully developed software to create the picture Luxor Sr. is quietly being a desk lamp when a ball rolls in and stops at his base. He swoops and knocks it away. It rolls back in. He knocks it away. Back comes the ball, followed by Luxor Jr., who wants to play. The key here is that the ball is moving. The lamps are alive. The frisky little lamp leaps on top of the ball, balances, then jumps up and down, flattening the ball. Play over, he exits. Luxor Sr. sadly examines the flattened ball. As he is doing that, a beach ball bounces by, followed by an eager little Luxor Jr. Watching them go, Sr. pauses and sadly shakes his head. They never learn. That short is the origin of the Pixar corporate logo, in which the word Pixar in black extends across a white background. A desk lamp hops in and giddily jumps on the eye until it flattens it and takes its place, and having done that, it turns its head and shines its light out at the viewer, looks at the viewer, connects with the viewer, completing the animation and emphatically demonstrating that animation is not just movement, but instilling full human life into something that was previously inanimate or not alive. Animation is something of a miracle, as in Pinocchio, and the truly great animated stories are always about, at least in part, what it means to be human, what it means to be alive, a fundamental that the 10th old man, John Lasseter, deeply understood.